Hello and welcome to
Wake Up Missoula,
your only hyper-local morning show.
Good morning, everyone. I hope you're all having a lovely day and morning, and that you've had a nice couple days.
Have you guys had a nice couple days?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's, we survived Monday. We got past Tuesday. I worked all day Tuesday. Monday
Did you have a long day on Tuesday? Yeah.
Hopefully,
Yeah,
go ahead.
I had a shoot last night on big data, which I'll be talking about later on in the show.
And speaking of big data, this week is Unplug and Play Week. So
It's ironic because it's big data week and it's unplug and play week. So what do?
Yeah.
Unplug or do you analyze big data?
Oh, and plus Noel has a guest that's going to be coming on today as well.
I do. We've got a couple guests today, so that'll be good. Yeah. Thanks for tuning in, everyone.
Yeah.
It'll be a great show today. Well, so what do we got starting out?
Well, first of all, there's really not much going on in terms of programming on MCAT, but it doesn't mean you can't tune into MCAT anytime. Mm-hmm. There's always repeats of a lot of programming. It consists from community lecture series, wilderness issues lecture series, all sorts of just like great programming about lectures from different types of people from different across the place, and Missoula is a great stew pot for everybody.
Yeah,
absolutely.
It really is.
All right, so one thing I kind of want to harp on is a little bit of our summer camps.
Yeah, those are coming up. The first one is June
16th through the 20th.
Through the 20th. So that's like a little over a month. So get in there, everyone. Sign your kids up. It's going to be a ton of fun. We have 3 different summer camps this summer. Scott will tell you about that.
Yeah, we have media camp, which is our first camp, animation camp, which is our second one, and our final one is our more advanced movie making camp, in which we all come together to make a Spielbergian type movie.
Spielbergian.
Yep, it's a word.
Good word.
Yeah.
So what happens on the other camps?
What's that?
Yeah, what happens in the...
Yeah, on each camp, the first camp is where we get a tour of stations, not just our lovely station here in downtown Missoula, but all other sorts of places like KUFM, KCI, KPAX, just a nice general idea of what Missoula has to offer in terms of broadcast medium.
Nice, very nice.
And then our animation camp is where we tinker around with stop animation.
Very
I think that's the spearhead is stop animation, and we might do some stuff with some green screen, which I have a video of that I'll show you. But in the last one we did a movie making camp. That's our last year we did Alice in Wonderland. Mm-hmm. The year before we did another movie called The Orb.
Nice.
One of our old campers made an original song about it.
Nice.
But if you didn't watch the movie, you'd think the song would be about let's just say something Bob Marley would write.
Reggae.
Yep.
That's funny. Nice. Can't get wrong with reggae.
Nothing wrong with reggae.
Don't you visit a fire station too? Isn't that on the agenda?
Yeah, fire station is for animation camp.
Oh, cool.
We just go up there, do a PSA with them, and get to learn about fire safety during the summer, especially during the summer because fire season is
good idea.
Worse and worse.
Yeah, it really is. I know. I wonder how our fire season is going to be this year.
Well, it's interesting because all over the news, the national news, they're talking about climate change today.
Mm-hmm. Oh, really?
Speaking of the fire department, they're also fire department and the police department are joining together for special districts.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
And the election's coming up, and we got Shyra Scott coming on here to talk about the election and mail-in ballots, and we have a whole lot to talk about in terms of that. Not to mention we have many people trying to get the county commissioners be a county commissioner, which is like a council member of the Missoula County, which is a huge area. It's from here all the way to Sealy Lake.
Yeah, that's a really big area.
Span of area, and they're talking about all sorts of stuff there. We also talk about our new sheriff, and it's like unopposed racing. It's going to be all brand new people in Missoula County running for the sheriff, but right now it's primary elections to determine who's going to be running as the Republican and the Democratic seat, which it seems as though that people in Missoula County are not really paying attention to the Republican seat.
Aren't the sheriffs all running on a Democratic ticket?
Yep, even some of them who are clearly Republican are running as Democrats.
Well, it's probably smart to do in Missoula.
That's what you get for Missoula.
But of course, I want to show a little video that I made with one of the kids from our animation camp last year, and I think this was our bonus animation camp because we overflowed the amount of kids from animation camp.
Oh, yeah?
So we added a second camp to it.
Nice.
See, that's what MCAT's willing to do is that last year, not only did we do we did three of our regular summer camps. We added another one, and then we had 3 weeks devoted to the Boys and Girls Club. So that's a consistent of 7 weeks, 7.5 weeks, because we count Christian's summer camp, because Christian has his own summer camp as well.
Nice.
But yeah, so
ton of summer camps this summer. Everyone, get your kids in there. Really reasonably priced and a ton of fun.
All right, so
let's check out this video.
And after this video, we'll bring in our guest.
Yep, Alyssa Williamson is here from Hunter's Glen to talk about the 10,000 Meals program. So we'll get her on right after this. All right, and we are back with Alyssa Williamson, and she is going to talk to us about the 10,000 Meals program. So, exactly, what is Hunter's Glen? First off, let's start with that.
Sure. So, Hunter's Glen is an assisted living community located here in Missoula off of Reserve Street. We provide support to seniors who may have difficulty managing in their home, ranging from just cooking meals all the way to assisting in the shower. So providing a home environment for them to be safe.
Great, great. And then what is the 10,000 Meals program?
So the 10,000 Meals program is helping to improve nutrition in seniors across the community. So what we do is we go out and visit seniors, bring them a home-cooked meal to ensure that they're getting the proper nutrition. Also providing a friendly face and just ensuring that they're safe in their home.
How many times a day do you do this?
You know, it just depends on how many seniors are nominated.
Okay.
So 1 a day up to 10 a day if we needed to.
And how, how long does this go on for?
Yes, so we're every year in April and May for both of those months. So throughout the month of May, we'll be delivering meals to seniors across the community.
Great, great. And so how would one get involved with the program?
Yes. So to get involved, any senior is eligible to be nominated. So you can give a call to Hunter's Glen, 542-7009, and ask for Alyssa. The only information that we need is their name, their address, a phone number, and then the best time of day to bring them a meal.
Great, great. Awesome. And so this goes on once a year, every year?
Yes.
Yeah? Cool. And then do you guys have a website? What is your contact information?
We do, yes. We have a website. It's www.emeritus.com. And you can also call our main line at 542-7009.
Great, great.
And do you guys take donations, right?
We just bring the meals to the seniors.
All right,
yes.
That sounds great. Who's funding all this? Who's the backer? Whose idea was this?
Yeah, so Emeritus is our corporation, so we have communities throughout the country. So each community just funds the meals and the delivery and that portion of it. So we try and deliver 10,000 meals across the country.
Great.
Wow.
Yeah.
How many meals do you deliver in Missoula?
Last year, I believe we delivered about 40 to 50 meals.
Nice, nice. And how long has this been going on for?
This has been going on this is our second year, I believe.
Nice.
Yeah.
Very nice. Cool. And then, so what area do you go to? Is it just in the city, or is it outside of the city too?
We delivered in Missoula City and then the surrounding areas as well.
Nice, nice. And then, so if a senior would want these services, you just have to call Hunter's Glen.
Yes.
And just let them know that.
Yep.
Great, great. Is there anything else that you would like to add or tell us about?
So we look forward to visiting the seniors in their home and providing the nutrition.
And then, when is the last day that this is over?
The end of May.
End of May.
Yeah.
Great. And then, so month of April and May.
Correct.
Great, great, awesome, great. Well, thank you.
Yes,
very
thank
much.
you.
Yeah.
Yeah, great.
Yeah,
And we have much more coming up right after this.
Got questions? Have you ever wondered where you can find out about resources that connect people with important community services and a broad range of information? In Montana, we want you to have the tools you need to feel safe and supported. 211 is a free, easy-to-remember phone number and website that will help you and your family get the answers you're looking for. Dial 211 or visit montana211.org to access the information you need. Get connected. Get answers.
All right, hello and welcome back to Up Missoula. We have a phoner. We have a guest from the City of Missoula Police Department. This is Sergeant Greg Amundsen. Greg, what is the Share the Road campaign that you guys are promoting?
Yeah, actually, the Share the Road campaign is a national campaign that we're participating in. That's for May is Motorcycle Safety Month nationally, just kind of promoting motorcycle safety, vehicle safety, just making sure everybody shoots the roads and they're safe out there.
Oh, wow. How long has this been going on for?
This, I think, is at least the third year that I've been made aware of it. But to be honest, I'm not sure exactly how long it's been going on. But it was 3 years.
Okay, it says here on the sheet that about 5,000 motorcyclists were killed in traffic crashes, which is an increase from 2010. Do you care to talk about that a little more?
You know, the statistics that, kind of show a trend, and I think maybe part of that is driven by gas prices, fuel prices, so more people are choosing to commute and travel by motorcycles just because it's so much more economical.
So, in the Share the Road campaign, let's see. What is the...
I guess also as a follow-up to that, too, I think part of maybe that national trend is also driven by the fact that helmet use approved helmet use by motorcyclists actually is in kind of a downward trend, which I don't understand because obviously your head is the most important part of your body, and without that you can't function.
Right. So, what is the main items that Share the Road are about?
It's just about trying to bring awareness to the fact that there's motorcycles on the road. Motorcycles are smaller, so they're harder to see for motorists. Motorists, especially during the winter, the reason we do this in the spring is during the winter, motorists kind of get used to not seeing motorcycles. So in the spring, we try to re-educate and remind them that there are motorcycles on the road, and they are just like a motor vehicle, any other car, truck, pickup, whatever. They have the legal right to be on the road, but they're harder to see because they're smaller. It's much easier for them to hide in your vehicle's blind spots, where the mirrors don't catch them. So we would like everybody to make sure that you turn your head and check your blind spot real well before you either make a turn or make a lane change, especially at intersections.
So I've got a question for you. How are you making everyone aware of the Share the Road campaign?
There's a national campaign, so put out a press release, so I'm doing shows like yours, interviews by television. I wasn't contacted by the newspaper media, unfortunately. So just trying to get the word out there, doing radio spots, etc. Just trying to get the word out there to share the road. And then also, the MDT puts up motorcycle awareness billboards around the state every single year in the spring.
Great. Do you have any events going on to promote this?
Actually, the event was Monday night. The mayor signed a proclamation at the city council meeting declaring May Motorcycle Safety Month here in Missoula.
Great. Thank you.
Well, where can people get more information about this?
I would say you could go to MDT's website and click on the links and follow it to motorcycle safety. And there's several tips in the national campaign that come out, and I could share a couple of those with you if you'd like.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, sure, right.
Yeah. For the motorcyclists, the things that we would ask them to do is just make sure that they wear a DOT-compliant helmet or something else. There's DOT and one other standard, but wear one of those. Make sure you obey all the traffic laws just like a car has to. Use both your turn signal and your hand signals just to make sure the cars know what your intention is as far as turning and lane changes. Wear the bright colored clothes. I think the most popular one you see is that chartreuse, kind of that bright yellow construction color. And make sure that it's reflective. I like to say ride to the left side of the lane so that you're not in the greasy spot in the center. And that way the vehicles can see you both in the left outside mirror and in the rearview mirror that's inside the car. And of course, never ever try to talk on your phone or send a text message or ride a motorcycle after you've been consuming alcohol or some other drug or substance that would impair your ability to do so safely.
Yep.
Well, is there anything else you'd like to say, Greg?
Just like to ask all of the vehicle drivers, the people that are in cars or pickups, whatever, just make sure that you're extra careful this time of year and make sure you keep an eye on the cars.
All right.
Yeah. Great.
Well, thank you very much, Greg.
Sure. Thank you, guys.
Yep. All right. Talk to you later. Bye.
Yeah, that's all very important. He's made some good points,
Yeah.
and those are definitely some good tips. And I feel like a lot of people don't even think about motorcycles, when they're driving in their cars.
Yeah.
But, yeah, it's scary.
Yeah, so remember that May is
Motorcycle
Awareness Month.
Yeah.
And
As well.
Share the Road campaign. Missoula Police
Yeah.
Department joins Share the Road campaign to prevent motorcycle crashes. Whether you're riding a motorcycle or not, always look out for yourself or others on the road, regardless.
Exactly. And
Absolutely.
bikers, too. Bicyclists as well.
Yes.
Yeah. Just be aware when you're driving.
Yeah. So you have a couple events you want to talk about as
I
well.
do have some events going on. Yeah. Okay. So for today, there is a weekly sit meditation at the Learning Center at Red Willow. This is Wednesdays from 7:30 to 8:15 a.m. $35 for 4 weeks, or just $8 to drop in. The Red Willow is at 825 West Kent Avenue. You can call 721-0033 for more information. Tonight at the Top Hat, we have Jazz Night with Trio Noir. It's 7 p.m. in all ages, and it's free. And then there's trivia at the Broadway at 7 p.m., and then trivia at the Press Box at 8:30, and then there's karaoke at the Badlander at 9. And so those are events going on for Wednesday. And then Thursday, every Thursday there's Lego Club at the library for kids, which is an awesome thing, and actually kind of want to go to it. It's from 3:30 till 5. It's every Thursday at the public library in the children's area on the Dragon Rug, I do believe. There are pieces provided, and if you're under 12, you need an adult to accompany you. But yeah, that's every Thursday. That sounds like a ton of fun. And tomorrow night there's trivia at the Lucky Strike at 8 p.m. And then at the Holiday Inn there's trivia at 7:30. Open mic night at Sean Kelly's tomorrow at 8 p.m. and at the Broadway at 9 p.m. There's karaoke at the Dark Horse at 9 p.m. And then they have a couple musical events. Johnny Azari is at 9 p.m. at the Palace. He is a Delta blues artist. It's a free show, and you can go to YouTube to check out what it sounds like. And then at the Top Hat Lounge tomorrow night is Pert Near Sandstone. 10 p.m., $10. They're a bluegrass band. You can also go to YouTube to check out what they sound like as well. Yeah, so those are the events for today and tomorrow.
Oh, are there any specific events you're looking forward to this week?
You know, I wish there was. It's my it's my last week of classes, you know, and then finals week is next week. So I'm really just trying to study hard and do homework, even though it's so hard.
Does waking up for this morning show give you the extra time to get your schoolwork done in the morning?
No, I always wake up last
right.
minute, of course. I like my sleep. Yeah.
So, like finals week, how many finals do you even have?
Okay, I only have 2. I've got a final Monday, and we got a final Thursday. But they're both going to be hard. I have a Spanish final, and then I have a final for my reporting class, where I have to, like, get a bunch of information, turn it into a news story, and then turn around and turn that into a broadcast story for radio. Yeah.
It's a lot of work.
Yeah, so I've got a lot of studying to do.
Yeah.
All right.
Thankfully, this show is some comic relief for me. Yeah.
So I want to show a little bit of from the vault while we transfer over to Josh's segment, and this is tequila brought on by the Twisters, which is an old, kind of funky band back in the '90s.
Oh, nice.
Cool.
It's really funny. Just go check it out.
That was too good. I would see those guys. Oh man, too bad they're not still around. They look like they're pretty funky.
Yeah. And you have a lot of stuff from. You got some stuff to talk about.
Yeah. So the main thing I'm going to talk about is Big Data Week, because it's Big Data Week in Missoula, as well as Unplug and Play Week. But in City Council, they talked a lot about Big Data Week, and I'm going to show you the proclamation that Mayor John Engen gave. So let's hear from Mayor John Engen.
As more than 30 cities around the globe will participate in this year's Big Data Week, an international effort to recognize that data connects people and society, forming the backbone of our economy, and smarter cities with healthier and more informed citizens. And whereas an estimated 4.4 million jobs will exist in the big data area by 2015, city and private sector leaders hope to capture some of those jobs for hardworking Missoulians, and experts project a shortfall of between 140,000 and 190,000 of big data professionals by 2018. And whereas in July 2012, the University of Montana announced it would offer the world's first undergraduate course in Infosphere Streams, a cutting-edge big data computer platform from IBM, in order to support Missoula's burgeoning, highly educated, high-tech workforce. And whereas the city is the largest public investor in the Missoula Economic Partnership, which identifies information technology as a target industry where our community can recruit new jobs, retain existing ones, and help existing businesses thrive. And whereas last year, Missoula ranked 13th in the nation for the highest density of IT and communications technology startups now. Therefore, I, John Engen, Mayor of the City of Missoula, and the State of Montana do hereby proclaim May 5th through 11th, 2014 in Missoula, Montana as Big Data Week. And that's something to celebrate.
All right. So, yeah, that was Mayor John Engen talking about Big Data Week. And Big Data Week is, I mean, first of all, does anybody know what big data is?
Well, in Montana, we pronounce it data.
Data.
Well, yeah, big data. So basically, big data is it focuses on social marketing, scientific, political, and technological influences on big data sets.
Mm-hmm.
I always go in between calling it data or data. I don't know.
You know, when I think about big data, it's too close to the microphone, but it's just like I go on YouTube and there's an ad and it's about one of our senators here in Montana.
Yeah.
Thanks, big data.
Yeah.
So, I mean, Missoula fosters a lot of big data through the University of Montana and other technological companies such as DirecTV. As they were saying, Missoula is one of the 13 cities that are celebrating big data this week, and it's the only city in Montana that has anything to do with not anything, but it's the only city in Montana
has everything to do with big data.
That has everything to do with big data. I mean, none of the other cities are celebrating big data, and it's a really big deal. Like Senator Tester, Senator Walsh, and Representative Steve Daines all had representatives at last night's meeting they were just reading
a statement from them?
Statement, yeah. And, I would show that, but, I mean, I don't think we need to plug any political figures on the show.
Yeah.
So, yeah. But, so think of big data as a grain of sand, and the amount of big data coming out of Missoula would be like a beach.
Wow.
That's how much big data. So it's like every time you visit a web page, every time you post on your wall or post on somebody else's wall, or every time you walk down Higgins and your phone picks up a wireless signal, which there's hundreds of wireless signals.
Wow.
You may not be able to get them because of the security code, but every time your phone goes into a zone, that's a data set. So really, it's just a vast amount of data coming out of Missoula, and we're lucky enough to have the University of Montana and some of our technology firms sort of analyzing it.
Yeah.
And business analysts think big data is important because it's the way that they discover patterns in data sets and marketing. Say like if you're trying to market your company, say MCAT is trying to see how many videos people are watching. Well, an analyst could see which videos. I mean, you could see which videos or what time people are on MCAT's website.
Right.
You could see which shows are the biggest attractions and stuff like that. So it's really important for people trying to market stuff and also just trying to find the efficiency.
Yeah, not to mention that I shot a lecture not too long ago about the same kind of thing, that they use data as a platform for political gain. And the way they use it is that they basically target people who already support of the political campaign, and they kind of use them to use social networking to do it, and just say, hey, you know what, your best buddy likes this, why don't you like it?
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Yeah, absolutely. And so yeah, I just got one more quote from
all right, and then we'll bring Shyra Scott out.
Yeah.
Discuss.
Got one more quote from Caitlin Koppel, and she's just talking about big data. So.
To thank Alex Phillip for being here in support of Big Data Week, and also Eric Tangenal, who I think had to step out, but really appreciate your guys' support. Also wanted to give a shout out to the other members of the planning committee, Jason Weiner, Eric Franzen, Russ Fletcher, and Melanie Brock from the Missoula Economic Partnership. We're here, and it's very exciting. I also wanted to recognize the winners of the first ever cyber triathlon that took place at University of Montana over the weekend. Those students who won include Alexander Dunn, Kevin Hernandez, Michael Cousseau, Matthew Erickson, and Brian Trethaway. So good job, guys, and way to help us put big data on the map this year in Missoula. It's pretty exciting that we're the only city in Montana and the smallest city period that's participating this time. So thanks.
Thank you all.
Alrighty, so that was Caitlin Koppel just talking about the big data going on at the University of Montana. So interesting stuff.
It is very interesting, and that's kind of great that we're like one of those, like the smallest city to participate. And I didn't know we put out so much data. So neat.
Yeah. We I mean, every city puts out a lot of data, but we're one of the cities that is really trying to analyze it. So
good.
Yep. And speaking of analyzing, let's talk a little more about analyzing the election that's coming up. The primary election, and we missed there was another election that just happened yesterday.
There was.
Well,
I'm still looking a little road weary. I think, but yes, we had the school special district election.
Right.
How did that go?
Yesterday, it went really well. We had about and I apologize, my numbers aren't exact because computers are down
Right.
at the fairgrounds. The last read I had, we had about 90% of the votes counted.
Good.
And about 20,000 voters turned out.
That's
So
awesome.
Right. What can we say about the school's levy? Like, that's a big deal that they're trying to get some money for like all the technologies and all the stuff they're doing. Not to mention the whole facilities planning board they've been doing about updating all the facilities or building more stuff. And what can you say about like how do they do in the polls?
They actually, from the preliminary numbers, which will be finalized today at some point, they had a good turnout and they ended up passing it. It was about, as you can see on the numbers here, about 7,300 for it, and about 5,100 opposed. So again, that's about 87 to 90% of the votes, but it votes well for them.
Yeah.
That does look really good for them. What is the percentage of error? Because isn't there usually like a percentage of error so far?
We try to be really thorough, and I don't know exactly what the percentage of
But it's
error
low.
is. It's extremely low.
Oh,
We
okay.
check, and then we double check, and then we check
Triple
again.
check,
and
Good. Yeah.
We're
Right.
very
As is
thorough.
expected.
Yeah.
No recalls or anything like that.
Yeah.
Hanging chads.
No
Yeah.
hanging chads.
That's usually with like bigger political parties, and it costs a lot of money just to do recall elections too.
Yeah.
Yes, it does. The one thing our office is busy doing today is contacting voters who maybe forgot to sign their ballots or whose signature didn't match what we have. Maybe your husband accidentally signed your ballot and you signed his, and so we're trying to resolve some of those issues. So if you get a phone call from our office, give us a call back. We're trying to track you down so that your vote counts.
All right, so you sent me an email with a couple topics.
I did.
What would you say is, starting from the top, what do you think is important?
Oh gosh, probably the primary ballots going out is really important. They were mailed yesterday. On Monday. I received mine in the mail. Yesterday. So we're on to another election already. What may be confusing for people, if you didn't receive a ballot, it's okay. It's only if you're signed up for the absentee list, and you're welcome to sign up at any time. We can't at this point change any information. So if you've moved, you can vote once at your old address, but we can't, and then we'll take your voter registration card and update you for the general election. But you can still sign up to be an absentee voter for a little while longer. So, but we only mailed out absentee ballots, and you still have the option to go to the polls for this.
Nice.
For this election. What's a little bit confusing is you actually receive 2 ballots in the mail. You receive a Democrat ballot, and you receive a Republican ballot, and you only vote one.
Okay.
You vote one ballot, and there's 2 envelopes in there.
Okay.
And you put the ballot you didn't vote in the unvoted ballot envelope, and you mail them both back to us.
Okay.
So I know that's really confusing
Oh yeah.
to receive a few ballots in the mail, but just vote one and then return them to us.
Right. And in voting one way or another doesn't necessarily define your party background.
No, we don't keep track of that in Montana. So we have no idea if you're Republican or Democrat. You can vote
Right.
on either ballot.
Nice. good to know.
Yeah.
Besides the primary elections, what are the main primary electives? Or besides the sheriff, we know everyone's been knowing all about the sheriff for those last couple months. What is the other stuff that's going on that people are voting on for the primary?
Sure, that's of course the sheriff's race is a hot race on the Democrat ballot. There's also the county commissioner for District 1 is up. And that one's she's opposed. Michelle Landquist is the incumbent, and so she's got she's got opposition also on the Democrat ballot. We have quite a few county offices on there as well. I know Justice of the Peace. There's a couple positions open in those areas. We've also, of course, got the state. Races and all of those. So it's a big ballot on there. There's also a local study commission that citizens get to vote on, both for the city and the county, where it's essentially a review of the government and whether or not people want that to take place. So there's some interesting things, and again, you can view your ballot online at Missoula Votes.
And for more information as well.
Yes, and feel free to call our office at 258-4751. We're happy to help.
Great.
Yeah. Thank you.
Well, is there anything else you'd like to say?
Oh gosh, let's see. That's most of it. Just drop if you received a primary ballot, you can drop it off at the fairgrounds or at the courthouse right now. So get those in.
And how late can you turn in your ballot? What is the procrastination time frame?
8 o'clock on June 3rd is the last date. Or the last time that you
8 a.m.
8 p.m.
8 p.m.
8 p.m.
June 3rd.
June 3rd.
Good to know.
Yes. If you're waiting until the last minute, that's your cutoff time.
All right.
Great.
Great. Well, thank you very much.
Thanks for having me again.
As always.
Yeah.
And as always, we'll end the show with Shyra Scott here talking about elections coming up for the primaries. So get out the vote. Be sure to look in your mail for all sorts of wonderful ballots that are coming in.
Yes.
And primary elections are once again in June 3rd.
June 3rd.
All right. So for Wake Up Missoula, I'm Scott Ramp.
I'm Noelle McAvoy.
I'm Josh Minnie.
Thanks for tuning in, you guys.
And that's Shyra Scott.
And this is Shyra Scott.